Oh, hey everybody. I just wanted to do a quick video today. I want to talk about something that I get on a regular basis, and I wanted to share it with you. I don't know if you're a gun owner, if you're a Second Amendment enthusiast or supporter, if you're a gun owner, gun enthusiast, if you want to be a gun enthusiast, you're a hunter, you want to be a hunter, and that's to join the NRA. And when you join the NRA, you are given the opportunity to receive magazines in the mail. And the NRA goes out and it fights, it lobbies Washington and local politicians, and they fight for your right to own and bear arms, and not just for hunting, but for preventing government oppression. And so an armed society is a polite society. So I highly encourage you to go out and join the NRA. Put money toward an organization that I feel is doing good for gun ownership and Second Amendment rights in America. But anyway, so I was walking through the kitchen the other day and I saw this particular magazine came, and so there's this banned gun raffle. So what I figured I'd do today is I'd show you guys some highlights out of this great magazine that comes. And the first thing that struck my eye was this banned gun raffle. 12 chances to win 12 great guns. Win the guns that Obama, Biden, and Feinstein and Bloomberg want to ban. Okay. So I'm looking down the back and I'm like, okay, there's an AR, there's an AK, there's an FAL, maybe, or maybe an AR. There's a bullpup. Okay, yeah, those are all pretty much black weapons of death. But then I get to this Remington Model 700 in 270 deer hunting rifle. And as far as I know, no one is trying to ban the deer rifle. Then you get some more AK and AR variants down through here, and then there's a Winchester Model 70 in 30-06. That, let me move this around where you can see it. Everything is backwards. This right here, the two wooden guns on this page, these are deer hunting rifles. So I don't know why they threw those in. I wouldn't mind winning them because they're pretty nice rifles, but as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, those are not on any banned list that I know of. But so this is the cover, and I'm like, okay, whatever, sure, maybe I'll go try to win a black gun. But then I pull that off and I get to the real cover, and check this out. I mean, this is totally cool. Carl Walther, featuring the reintroduction of German production of the Walther PPKS in .22 caliber, and basically featuring a few years ago, Smith & Wesson took the Walther PP and PPK line and started producing them here in America, and they made some design changes that were controversial. And so this is Walther and Germany taking back their iconic PPK line and sort of restoring it to its former glory. And what better way to do it than with a James Bond tuxedoed, and of course the Carl Walther reference to the pop culture. I mean, this is the most famous gun in pop culture, and I'm a huge James Bond fan. So when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, this is totally cool. So if you subscribe to the NRA, if you join the NRA and you subscribe to this magazine, you'll get things like this. But what I wanted to do was just run through the magazine today and kind of highlight some of what I thought were features of this magazine. One of the neat features is in the beginning they always have the armed citizen, and these are real stories of people who use their weapons. Sometimes they don't fire them, but they have them and they prevent crimes from occurring. And so it's real life situations from across the country. Here's Dayton, Ohio, Osceola, Florida, Houston, Texas, Shell Lake, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Jacksonville, Florida, North Carolina. So you're seeing across the United States people who are honest, legally owning, firearm owning citizens defending their property and their lives and their loved ones. And so that's always interesting to read. Every month to see, kind of positive spin around firearms and how they're being used. And sometimes they're just displayed and they don't even have to be fired. But it kind of goes along the lines of better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You get to this ad. Here is the new Walther PPKS in 22. Classic James Bond style PPK with the longer grip of the PP. Plus, it's in 22 caliber, which is really a neat configuration. And if you want to get into 22 caliber plinking, and 22 caliber is a great caliber to start on. It's a great caliber to train new gun owners on. It's typically affordable when ammo is available. 22 you can shoot all day long. Hopefully gun ammo prices will come back down to where we'll see those cheap 22 prices again. But I love it. It's mild recoil. I actually have one sitting over here in a bag. I'll show it in the next video. But I love 22 caliber, and having a 22 caliber Walther is totally cool. You can't, that is just, if you want to be a collector, if you want to start somewhere, it's a little pricey, but it's money well spent, and it's an investment. You will get that money back. 22 caliber Walthers are highly collectible, so you can't go wrong with that. I'm just kind of flipping through. I wanted to highlight a couple of things. When I saw this page, I thought of Cutlery Lover. There's some Ballistol and a 1911 Zippo. I don't know if Cutlery Lover has this Zippo yet. I think it's available only through the NRA. It's created by an NRA member, Mike Porter. He owns Wicked Zippo Studios, so that might be something to check out, wickedzippo.com. And I'll do some product placement stuff through here. People swear by this Ballistol. I've never used it. I want to try it sometime. But you might see some blatant product placements in here as I sit here and go through this magazine. And of course, wearing my Auburn Tigers shirt. Because I'm an Auburn grad. War Eagle out there to all you Auburn fans. So anyway, yeah, I'm flipping through the magazine, and what I like about this is it's a good blend of ads and magazine articles that feature new weapons that you may or may not know about. The stories about people who have used their guns to defend themselves. There's some historical articles that are really good. Here's one on an early model Blackhawk, Ruger Blackhawk. The 3-screw, 44 mag, flat top. This is the original. Came out in the 50s, 56. This, if you don't know what it is, I will put some links to some websites in my description box of this video. This is what you might call a perfect packing pistol, and if you don't know what that is, I'll put some links out in the video to some websites where you can learn about what a perfect packing pistol is. It's a John Taffin reference. It's Skeeter Skelton. Who wrote the Six Guns book? I don't have it here. It's just a perfectly sized, high-powered packing pistol that you can take and go on horseback or car and hike in the woods and pretty much defend yourself from anything that comes along. It's an evolution of the Colt Peacemaker, 1873 Peacemaker. So, I mean, you can go out and start reading about that. I've got one actually over here in 22, actually. It's a single 622 Ruger. And they're just amazing. They're heavy, they're slow to fire, but you can shoot them all day long. You'll never wear them out. They're just great. So that's on my short list of acquisitions, is either one of these in 44, 45 long Colt, or 357. I've always wanted a Blackhawk. Love to shoot them. If you haven't tried one, go try it out. Running through the magazine, you'll have some custom ads for gunsmithing. If you have one and you want somebody to soup it up and slick it up, put race parts on it, make it a custom. Say you want to get into match shooting. This is Les Bear. They do 1911s and they do ARs apparently now. But then, having said that, here's an article called Making Peace, and it's about a guy who was always a fan of the Colt Single Action Army. So in the 60s, I believe, in 1964, he bought a brand new Colt Peacemaker, and he bought it in 44 Special because, in his opinion, 44 Special is more accurate than 45 long Colt. So he carried this thing, and he used it varmint hunting, used it hunting for years. He gives it to a friend of his who always admired it. His friend lived in California, somewhere down along the Mexican-California border, United States border, and he called this guy, his family friend was Uncle Jack. He always admired his Colt Single Action Army, but he never purchased one, so on a whim, this guy lets the guy have the gun. The guy ends up carrying it on his hip in his orchard for 30 years, even using it to defend his grove from drug runners trying to use the grove to come from Mexico into California and the United States. And then at the end of the story, the guy ends up dying. They both grow old. It doesn't say whether or not he ever used this gun, but they start to grow old, and he says, "Look, Jim, I don't need this anymore. I'm dying. Have it back." And here's an example of a perfect packing pistol in a 4 3/4 inch barrel. It looks like might be 5.5 inch barrel Colt Peacemaker that was carried its whole life as a tool, used for defense. It was not hot rodded. There are no lasers on this. There are no high performance grips or high capacity magazine. This is a 6-shot, single action, single load, single eject, tool that was used in the modern 20th century. And I doubt that thing's ever even, other than being cleaned and used and carried, it was never souped up. It was, you just don't need that. So, this magazine is great because you can see articles about guns that are run straight out of the box and never modified, and then you can see some that are completely race guns that are just accurate to a T. And depending on what you like, you will find, something in here that interests you. The actual Walther article is cool. They also feature some of their other polymer guns and other guns that are made in Germany alongside this brand new 22 caliber Walther, which by the way I've seen in person and it's really nice. You can see they have a 380 PPKS. They don't list here a 32, which is the actual PP. The James Bond PP was in 32 ACP, which is a cool gun. And I actually have a PP over there that's in 32. I'll show that on the video in a little bit as well. But there's some great backstory around what these gun companies are doing to innovate and to survive in this 21st century, and how they're evolving yet keeping tradition alive. There was a couple more things I wanted to show you guys. Oh yeah, the last interesting article, there's an article on gun safes and gun safety and how to keep them in your house, so that, you know, people are safe, but they're accessible as well. So here's an interesting documentary on the Finnish arms of the Winter War, where Finland was defending itself from Soviet Union encroachment and invasion right before World War II started, and their successes and how they were able to hold off the Russian giant, this small country. So, you know, this magazine is great. You'll learn a lot. If you are an enthusiast and you're not a member, join. You'll learn a lot more. If you want to get into the hobby, if you feel threatened and you think, oh, I need to go get a gun, join the NRA. Start to get some knowledge. Go to some shooting ranges. See what you like. Rent guns. Talk to friends. Find somebody that is an enthusiast. Let them take you. You know, if you came up to me and said, hey, I wanna go to the range. I think I want to buy a gun. Well, I would take you to the range and I would lay out everything that I've got, and I would let you play all day long and make an informed decision and say, well, you know, I like revolvers. I don't like revolvers. I like polymer pistols. I want something a little heavier. I like 22 caliber. That's all I like, 22 caliber. There's nothing wrong with someone carrying a 22 caliber gun and, you know, feeling safe by carrying that gun. If you can hit it, I mean, you know, if you can hit with a 22, you know, that can make all the difference in the world. And so I have no trouble carrying my 22 caliber PPK S or, you know, 45 caliber Colt. It just, you know, they're one and the same. If you can't hit with it, it doesn't matter what you're carrying. So, you know, get something you're comfortable with, practice with it. You know, I'm thinking about starting or naming this channel like the Rambling Man or something, because I get on here and start rambling. I don't really have much of a script. I'm trying to follow Nut and Fancy's POU kind of stuff and actually writing some talking points and then pretty much ignoring them as I sit here and talk. So anyway, just some rambling on. I'm about 17 minutes. It's pretty long, but I'll put another video up later today with my some of my pistols and revolvers that I brought down. They're sitting over here in a bag, and let you guys see those. And until then, have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.